I'm literally talking.
It's just supposed to be like you're talking. You're not supposed to be like,
dude, guess what? I'm going to trade my ass.
Y'all shut the hell up right now, dude. We're talking about trade for targets, and I'm going to start it off with a heater right now. I'm considering taking Mr. Devontae Adams right now. I'm really thinking about this.
You want to trade for Devontae Adams? Bro, get that shit out of your mouth.
Okay, I guess that was a decent reaction.
It's time!
Woo, baby! Hell yeah!
Sold out arena in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, Skaddy, get us in on this one, baby. Turn us up. Come on.
This is the trade away candidates. You just watched the trade for. Excuse me, my throat is currently has a lot of gunk in it.
Hey, I've heard you say that before.
But yeah, all right. This is the trade away. We currently have a special guest, Carson Harris. If you watched the last episode, he was on it. Go watch that one before. You need to watch that one before because we talked about trading for. This is trade away. You obviously want to get some players before you trade away some players. So, Carson, lead us off.
Yeah, definitely. Howdy,
before he gets in. Hold up, before you get on it, just to make, dude, we gotta clarify. We gotta let them know this is 12 team
I'm out, bro.
PPR, 12 team PPR. So that's what we're going for right now. It's not standard. This is not fucking half point. This is PPR 12-man.
Dude, if you're playing
now,
standard,
go ahead. You gotta introduce. You gotta let them know.
Yeah, you gotta change commish. Like,
bro, a lot of people be playing standard, bro.
If you play standard, I want you to unsubscribe from this channel right now.
Yeah, we don't need you. Like, you're one of the 1,000 that can leave. Yeah. Look, happy to be here.
Are you fucking mustache? Give us the fucking tradeaways. Come on now. Come on!
You know, this mustache gives me knowledge, and I'm glad you said it because there's about to be some knowledge in this podcast, and you guys need me. So, with that being said,
we don't got a lot of knowledge going on in here. Yeah.
All right, so trade away. I got a couple of players, and, you know, I'm going to tell you a little story. Shut the fuck up! I got a couple of philosophies I live by. And, you know, one of them is you don't want ugly things in life. You don't want things that aren't appealing. And for me, I don't want players on teams that are fucking dog shit. Yeah. So, with that being said, any Titans player whatsoever, including someone like a D-Hop, just get rid of them. It's not worth it. Look who's slinging that rock to them. Every week that you play, most of these games are going to come down to your wide receivers. That's the nature of fantasy nowadays.
Yeah.
Sure, D-Hop can get you a little bit of something, but you need people with high ceilings and good quarterbacks slinging them the rock. So D-Hop would be number one on my list. Next up, it's going to be a little different. We're going to go over, again, Houston. And, you know, I would actually dump any of the wide receivers from there. They're not high-end picks. There's a couple of, you know, maybe you could sell Tank Dell. Robert Woods is low. Maybe you could sell him. Probably not a lot would pick it up. Regardless, sell them because they're going to keep getting fed. But, again, I don't like their ceiling at all. You know, it is a pass-happy team, but C.J. Stroud is a rookie quarterback. He's not going to sustain this for the rest of the season. Go ahead and dump any of those guys you can. Maybe get someone similar, maybe someone with a lower floor, like Quentin Johnston. Peep the last video. And I would go that route. That is 2 picks. The third pick to get rid of, who do I want for my list? I'm going to give you a bonus. I'll give you 2 running backs. I'm going to give you Saquon and DeAndre for 2 completely DeAndre Swift for 2 completely different reasons. After the Patriots, the Giants, not much better. There's nothing going on there. All this magic from last year that we saw, winning close games, being dogs on the road and shit at home, they're just shit everywhere. Yeah. Danny Dimes is Danny Pennies. I don't know what's going on with him and the team. And sure, Saquon's about to come back. You know, maybe some people combine that hype. Maybe they're desperate. Go ahead and get rid of him. You can actually probably get someone pretty decent for him. You know, whether it's a like for like a Tony Pollard. I'm sorry, you probably can't get Tony Pollard. Like a Joe Mixon, who can be explosive later towards the season while the Bengals are still figuring out an offense. Or you can go a little bit higher and maybe try and get like a Kamara because maybe people could be skeptical if they're holding him and like, oh, it's 2 games. I don't know what's going on. Who knows? Give it a shot. And the other one, DeAndre Swift. He'll stay there. He probably will stay healthy. It is a physical team, though, so best of luck to him. But I really just see them either, as the season goes on, switching back to using Jalen Hurts' massive legs again, or kind of leaning into like a running back by committee, maybe even using Rashad Penny because he hasn't done jack shit, hammer his unders. And I think he's definitely peaking at the time that is right for people who want to get rid of him. And I think there's a lot of value on that. And you could also get some good packages for him. Depending on where your team's at, you can get another running back. Or you can get a low-end WR1 potentially, but definitely a high-end WR2. And that's my picks.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on Saquon. I don't even think Danny Dimes going to be starting this upcoming week, or I don't even know what's going to happen because he had some kind of neck injury. He's had a history of this, and it could be a couple weeks. And that you're talking about dumpster fires. I mean, could you imagine the Giants versus the Patriots? Someone would have to win that game. I don't even know what the hell would happen. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to touch him with a 6-foot pole. So, yeah, definitely trying to move off Saquon would definitely be a great play. Now, I do want to say DeAndre Hopkins, man, dude. If Will Levis comes to start, dude, I mean, I'd trade him for Tyreek. I mean, come on now. Let's be honest. No, that's a good pick. I like
Levis
DeAndre.
Can't even get over his ex-girlfriend, man. Stop playing.
Will Levis, if you're watching this, good luck, buddy. But,
Go grab that mayo, bud.
Yeah. Dude, he's got a fat thing of mayo just sitting all around his lips, dude, at practice. He's like, what? I got to run plays? Huh?
It's my time.
Yeah. But, I like your pick. Skaddy, what do you think, baby?
I do want to say one thing about Carson. I actually disagree with both of you guys about Saquon. I think the argument can be made that with Danny Dimes playing like shit, with that whole offense playing like shit, can't the argument be made that they're going to feed him more and he's going to get more share than he normally would?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're thinking, and that's why you could probably get some good candidates to trade for him, like yourself. So you'd be perfect for me to get rid of my shit and give it to you.
Yeah.
Because he'll have a good floor. They'll dump it off. They'll do checkdowns, whatever. And with Saquon's talent, he'll probably get, more than he should yards-wise. Yak, as they call it. So his floor is probably going to say, around the double digits on the low end, 10, 11. But for me, like a player of that hype and of that magnitude, you can get, again, schlups like yourself to trade for him, and I can get someone better who has more upside. There's no upside in Saquon Barkley. What is he going to do? Is he going to start scoring touchdowns? How are they going to get down the fucking
They're
field?
going to stack the box, Carson. That's what they're going to do. They're going to stack the box. They're not going to get past into the other person's territory. It's going to be fucking garbage time for
That's
Saquon.
right. And they have no offensive line on the Giants. That's the other thing. Like, he's going to have to work hard as hell for all of his yards he's getting. And then while he's doing that, he's probably going to just pick up another injury. Like, it's the same story we see every year.
Yeah. So, hey, let's go back to the well on this, Skaddy. So, if you were looking to get Saquon, who are you trading? Because these are the people we're going. We're trying to target the Skaddys in our league. Who could we get for Saquon from you?
Based off my team, I mean, I would trade like a James Cook for Saquon.
Straight up, James Cook?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be tough, though. I feel like you would need a little bit more.
You might have to throw in a little juice on the Saquon side.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I am the guy that has D-Hop on my team, so maybe I just am that guy. Maybe you just don't want to listen to anything I say.
Maybe not. Maybe I should take my talents to another podcast.
Yeah, the list is endless over here. The list is endless.
All right, well, this basically just makes what I'm going to say irrelevant because I have no credibility whatsoever now. But,
credit score is like a 300 right now, Skaddy.
all right, how about this? You'll grade my picks and tell me if you agree or disagree.
Right.
And I'll go one by one, and you'll say I just want to agree or disagree, and then we can talk about it after. But after I'm done explaining why, just say agree, disagree, and then we'll move on to my next pick. But I have 3 currently. Michael Pittman. I think you should get off him. What Carson was saying earlier about trading scumbags away for, not scumbags, but trading away players that don't have anyone to throw the ball to them. AR-15's hurt. Gardner Minshew is decent, but AR-15 is just another person. So I think you should trade away Pittman. As far as he's had a good year so far too, so you might be able to get something while he's still of value. But I think his value or his stock will continually go down. So, do we agree or disagree with that pick?
Agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go agree. He won't be
only
a total
reasoning.
bomb, but yeah, I think he's a good trade away spot right now.
The
Okay.
only reason I say agree is because agree, trade him away, pick up Josh Downs on waiver wire.
Sure.
That's
Not a
my
bad shout, honestly.
Next one is George Pickens. He had a good week last week, and I think that's the only good week he'll have. Now, this might be a little biased because I am a Browns fan, as you can see, and I don't like any Steelers players. But he had one good touchdown that won the game last week. And look who he has thrown to him, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is not that guy. He will never be that guy. And as far as I'm concerned, he can go. Well, I'm not going to say that because that's kind of mean. But
what do you got to say there, Skaddy?
yeah,
What
can't
do
say
you
I was
gotta
going to say
there?
something about death in a ditch, but I won't
Jesus.
say that. But
Dude, someone get him out of here, bro. This guy.
It's just a football game.
yeah, he put up like 27 or something last week, and I think that's the only way he'll put up like 25 plus, even maybe 20 plus. I mean, especially with Deontay Johnson coming back, I don't really see Pickett targeting him as much, especially on the deep ball.
Yeah.
Do we agree or disagree?
Agree?
Yeah, I'll go soft agree because I think he has a role in a team, but it's purely a flex role. Because as you see, he's got 26 and 22, and then it goes down 11, 5, and 8. Right? So if it's something where you're like, I really like this matchup, and honestly, it's a little bit of a trend because Cleveland and Baltimore, division opponents, are his two boom games. If you want him for a flex, buy low, sure, go for him. Do whatever you want. But Pickett is going to need that, fail-safe, over-reliable in Deontay, in the slot, short throws, because he's been struggling a bit. You can tell, he's still got some strides to make. I think he has improvement to make, and he's not a total bust, but I'll give you a soft agree on that one, bud.
Okay.
Yeah. And
my last one. Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something about?
yeah, I got to
Pickens?
explain my reasoning, baby.
Oh, sure.
God. No. Reason why I say agree, but at the same time, it's hard to trade people on buys. So you might have to wait a week, and that's my only reason. It'll be a little hard to sell them just because most of the time you try to get people buy low candidates on buys, not really try to sell high on a buy. But
yeah, I mean, especially too if your team's like 0-5 or something, and you need a win, and George Pickens
Just
is
stop
doing no
playing
good on the bench.
fantasy. 0-5. I mean, Owen. I don't even know that guy.
Fucking
All right.
bro. Get that dude out of here.
My last one is sell high. Adam Thielen. He's been tearing it up these past couple weeks. Actually, the past entire year, really. I mean, he's put up 20 in week 2, 32 in week 3, 15 week 4, 30 in week 5. But look at his schedule. The first couple games he did that. New Orleans, all right. Seattle is first in letting up yards to wide receivers. Minnesota's second in letting up yards to wide receivers. Detroit's 11th, and Miami's 10th. So he's had a cupcake schedule coming up, and his schedule only gets harder moving forward. So he's very front-loaded when it comes to his schedule. And also, too, he has a rookie QB thrown to him, Bryce Young. Now, granted, they will be playing behind a lot of games this year, so he might have some garbage time touchdowns, kind of like he did this past weekend. But it's hard for me to trust a guy who's, how old is he? Like 35 years old, catching passes from a rookie
31
QB.
or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little rude. So, yeah, naturally start off, he's 33 years old. I'm sorry, 33 years young.
Disagree.
And, yeah, Adam Thielen, man, I really, really like where he's at. I'm not going to buy into the hype of him being a top 10 receiver like he is right now. But I will say he is kind of QB proof. His biggest game was in Seattle with Dalton at the helm, right? 11 for 145 and a tutty. Albeit Dalton plays strangely well against Seahawks. But that's a side note. Look, he's getting a ton of targets, 9, 14, 8, 13, and that receiving room is not that good. Now, I will say I normally stay away from dumpster fires, and this is one right here. But I really like how dependent he is on Thielen, Bryce Young, that is. And Adam Thielen will always, with his veteran mindset, be able to get open and be in the slot if he stays healthy. For me, like in one of my leagues, needing a wide receiver, I think this is a perfect spot for someone who might have a mindset like you, where it's like, hey, he's going to fizzle out, which
Yeah.
he could fizzle out. If he fizzles out, like that's still not a bad WR2. If he's dropping like 12, 13, 14 on average instead of he's probably over 20 at this point, I don't mind that one bit. Just depends on what I give up for him because it wouldn't be anything too crazy.
Yeah, I think with Adam Thielen, you got to look. Okay, game script. Is Carolina going to be ahead in any games coming up? I don't think so. Is their offensive line going to get any better to where their running's actually going to be a situation? I don't think so. Where's Adam Thielen scored all of his points? It's been mostly during trash time. So I think there's going to be a lot more trash time coming up. I think Adam Thielen's still going to be who else is in this wide receiver room? Is it Mingo?
DJ Chark.
Yeah, Barcavius Mingo, DJ Chark. Yeah.
I mean, so when you're looking at people, and Adam Thielen knows how to work back to a QB, so I don't like Thielen, but at the same time, it's like I don't see anything changing. No matter who they even go up against, it's just this team is just going to need someone to throw to. So, I mean, DJ Chark, will he last all season? I don't know. So that's where I disagree on Thielen. But I get what you're saying, trying to trade him high, which you probably could trade him high, and, he might regress a little bit back. But I still think he's going to have some kind of floor just because of, his role in this team.
Yeah. All right, Matt, let's hear yours.
Yeah, and y'all can do the agree, disagree, and you can be pretty blunt about it. I mean, if you want to slander and call me some words, that's okay too. So I'm going back to the well with the Titans. Fucking Henry, get him off my team. He's a brand name guy. I can sell him out of here, and he's currently losing. He's losing the role. What'd you say?
Said I agree.
Yeah,
Okay,
he is losing it.
Yeah, he's losing the role. Tajay Spears. I mean, another reason, too, I look at Henry. Okay, let's break it down just like we did Carolina. How many games is Tennessee going to be ahead this year? I don't know many.
Yeah.
Is their offensive line going to get any better? I don't think so. Derrick Henry is at the age cliff. Let's remember that. So you're looking at the game script, and then also now you're splitting things with Tajay Spears, who looks super explosive as a pass catcher, which is what you use for when you're down in games. You don't use Derrick Henry. You use Tajay Spears guy when you're down. So where does he fit at in this team? And all I see is goal line work. That's where I see Henry right now. So if you want him for that touchdown, I mean, you might be able to hit the anytime touchdown thing on your bet, maybe. But rather than that, I don't really like where Henry's going. And I think with his brand name, you can sell him for more than what he's actually going to end up being this year. So, if you're in a league, especially in a work league, and someone hears Henry and they get goo-goo guys. So that's the person I'm looking for. I'm looking for that person who likes the brand names and trying to get rid of them. Because most people who are really in tune with fantasy are kind of understand, Henry is not that guy. So another guy that I like right now to trade away is Mr.
Yo, what if I disagree? Just kidding, I completely agree. Get rid of him. He's showing his age. He's showing his usage. He's showing his usage, man.
Gabe, love it. Oh, yeah. I thought you did say agree. That's why I heard you say agree. So, yeah. Next one's Gabe Davis. I'm going to load Gabe Davis. This is my reason why. Gabe Davis, he is a very streaky player, and recently he has been streaking the right way. Yeah, there's been a lot of streaking going on. And the thing is, I think he's going to regress. I mean, you look at this team, and Gabe Davis is touchdown dependent. He's always had these crater weeks, and he's also had these high weeks. And I think the reason why is I think I could sell Gabe Davis straight up for Christian Watson, who I think has a higher floor but is a similar player to Gabe Davis, so I can put in my flex. So coming off, I mean, currently right now, looking at, let's see, go into the actual metrics of it if my thing will load. But Gabe Davis, I want to say he's like wide receiver 15 right now. I mean, he's pretty
He's 14. You're
14.
Spot on.
Okay, 14. He's currently 14 right now. And I think on Watson on the bye this week, you drafted Gabe Davis, not as a starter, probably on your bench. So I think that's someone who you could flip, and I think Watson has a higher ceiling. than Gabe Davis. Well, his ceiling's about the same because he is attached to Josh Allen. So, there could be the possible of a 40 bomb. But the floor of what you're going to get from Watson is going to be a lot more juicier. And if you watch that Raiders game, there were some balls that was missed. And I think we'll eventually regress back to Watson. So I think he'll be a good person to pick up. But get off Mr. Gabe Davis while he's hot.
Yeah, I'm completely with you, man. Get off of him. I'm a little bit touchdown dependent, 4 straight games, obviously inflating his score. There's no way he should be a top 15 receiver in fantasy or talent-wise. Still a good receiver nonetheless. So, yeah, get rid of him. Someone could use him as a flex, or someone may value him higher and get someone else for cheap.
I disagree. I think you should just hold him. I think you said there's no way he should be a top 15 wide receiver. Well, he is. He is that guy right now. And look who he has thrown to him, Josh Allen. Look who Christian Watson has thrown to him, Jordan Love.
Who does Christian Watson have to compete against?
Dobbs.
Who had one
Reed,
catch last game?
Dobbs has been rough, but Reed would really be the other one. Christian Watson is he's almost like Hunter Henry to Mac Jones. He's a big body, he's got good hands, and Jordan Love's going to find consistency. The Packers are going to work it out. They're not a terrible organization. They have great coaching. I'm pretty big on them this season. They're making the playoffs. So just let it ride it out. I see what you're saying, but you just never know, man.
I would just hold. I don't think you need to trade anyone for him. I think you just hold on to him. I don't think you trade away or you trade for. I think you just hold. If you have him, you just hold.
Has Gabe Davis ever finished top 25 or top 20 wide receivers? I don't know if he has or not, but I'm assuming he has
I'm not sure.
Finished.
But he goes on these streaks like you're saying, and it might be worth a start one week if you're out on bye. Like I'd rather start Gabe Davis in the flex than Christian Watson.
I mean, would you rather have the higher floor and the same ceiling? I mean, that's where I'm at with Watson. I'd rather have a higher floor, which I think he has.
So that's where I disagree with you. I think Gabe Davis has a higher floor than Christian Watson, or higher ceiling, and same floor.
I mean, if you look at the Crater games with Gabe Davis, I mean, they get down to like the ones and the twos. Yeah, fucking. That's
Christian Watson didn't even play the first 4 weeks of the year, so that's the ultimate worst. At least Gabe Davis is putting up points.
Nah, not too bad.
I mean, I think it really comes down to opinion on this one. I mean, because you can skin the cat both different ways, and so y'all drop in the comments. Let us know which side y'all are.
Are you telling me you're skinning the cat in the crater?
Yeah, dude, I got my country sling, and I'm gonna say another one. I got one sprinkle. I'm gonna say, but Josh Jacobs, you need to sell high on him. I think, to be honest, you might be able to package him up and get someone like Bijan. And the reason why I'm going to say Josh Jacobs, he's been so inefficient this year. And, I mean, you look at this team. The Raiders team is absolute dog water. I don't think they really like moving the ball all at the team. And I think, too, McDaniels is going to get fired at some point this year. So, looking at the team, Jacobs, I don't even think he's paid right now. He's on the franchise right now, isn't he? Or he got a one-year deal or something. He's got something super minimum. It's nothing really that serious. So, he's getting a lot of usage. He's getting like 20 carries a game or more. But, I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like you could go out and get someone who's more explosive like Bijan and maybe package it up or something that you can actually have some real high, crazy weeks. And look how crazy Bijan is. He's eventually going to regress to something better. And he's a rookie running back, and he's going to take over time. And the reason why I'm laying out the actual trade for who I'm doing for, because this is what I'm trying to do in some leagues. So this is – because like right now you look at Jacobs, he's like if someone's looking at it actually right now, it's like 18 some kind of points in a PPR league that he's projected. So it looks pretty sexy right now, and it's about what Bijan is, and it adds on top. Someone could be like, Bijan's kind of been and then I can get a Jacobs and then somebody else who's on my bench, and they can upgrade their team. But really I think Bijan has a better chance of finishing in that top 3 of running backs compared to a Josh Jacobs finishing in a top 3 of running backs. And we're trying to make trades to win leagues, not to just get a little bit of a better player. And I think that's a league-winning trade that you can make in a lot of your leagues.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a Josh Jacobs holder and I can get Bijan in a straight swap, I would
not straight swap. You'd have to package something. Something because I'm assuming with the draft capital of Bijan, they're going to want a little bit more. He kind of had a touchdown save him this past week, and I think
Bijan's 7 and Jacobs is 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're throwing a little something small, a little juice on the side, definitely rookie running backs, you can look at Dameon Pierce. You can look at Breece Hall. There's always one or two that pop off in the season and stay that way. And Bijan's going to be one of them. Jameer's going to be the other one. Stay tuned. So, yeah, that's a fire trade.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Bijan's a winning move as well, doing like a package deal for Josh Jacobs. But I'm not sure I would trade Josh Jacobs right now. I mean, granted, I understand he's had a pretty easy schedule the first half, and it gets harder going forward. But I mean, he put up 20 points, 28 the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's kind of hard to trade a guy like that, especially if you like need a running back. I don't know. That to me is
if you
tough.
don't trade him now, that means you're going to stay with him the rest of the season because this is the ultimate sell high position out of any. You know, he had a good floor, 9, 11, and then boom, 2 shit defenses. He's going back to New England. Another one. He'll probably pop off again this week. Who knows? So.
Yeah, I mean, you got New England, Chicago, so those are 2 matchups where he can do the damn thing. But I definitely think, I mean, going into Week 8, that Detroit, he's going to mess up with the line, and it's going to look like a Buffalo kind of week where he's putting up -2. I mean, not -2 yards, but he's going to put up something low. But I mean, look at this. He's rushed 20 attempts, 69 yards, 17, and he had 58 yards. He hasn't been efficient at all this year, so it's really been touchdown dependent on some of these boom or bust games. And I don't know how many touchdowns the Raiders are going to score this year. I don't know.
But the running back spot is tough. It's tough right now, I feel like.
It is, and that's why when I said that trade, I'm trading for another running back. I'm not trading I'm not going to send Josh Jacobs for a wide receiver because, like you said, it's a tough spot. Yeah,
I think you only trade Josh Jacobs for someone better if you can do like a 2-for-1 package deal. I wouldn't trade Josh Jacobs for someone equivalent or worse than.
Would you do you think a Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard could be straight up done?
Probably.
Would that be a trade worth doing?
It's really tough to say. It's really tough to say because I honestly I feel like they'll finish a couple rankings within each other.
I feel like that's a coin flip. I feel like
they're both top 10 at the end of the season, in my opinion.
Hey,
so
we're here to answer those tough questions. Are we taking or not taking?
I'm saying no. I'm saying you stick with your draft pick and you don't take it.
Yeah, I would say that as well because they're also going to get points in different ways. You know, Pollard's going to get more of the yards, maybe some of the touchdowns. And Jacobs, I mean, it seems like, too, not only is he touchdown dependent, he's getting more in the receiving game. He's got 5 the last game, 8, 3, 5. I mean, that's more than what we've seen. So.
Yeah. And the only reason I lean towards Pollard is strictly because of offense, and I assume Dallas is going to get better.
There's a better offense, and they will get better. They're a great team.
So I think that he has a better chance. Now, I think Josh Jacobs can score more than Pollard just because Pollard's not that guy who's going to punch it in. He's more of like the receiving guy and the explosive guy. But I'd lean more towards Pollard. But, I mean, I do agree it is kind of a coin flip. But those are kind of, I feel like, decisions some people are thinking about possibly doing. I mean, even me, I'm always looking to possibly upgrade or switch stuff around. So, yeah.
Accept my trade then. I sent you Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp for Jets D, and you won't accept it.
Dude, I'm gonna need more of that. You know I'm gonna need more than that. I'm gonna need DK.
I know. You're gonna hard bargain, but like, you gotta meet me halfway.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great episode, boys. Still a little trade for segment. Carson, thanks again for coming on the pod, bro. Back-to-back videos. Gotta love this. Drop comments if y'all like Carson or hate Carson. So be honest and tell them exactly how you feel. So, I had a pleasure doing it with him. I felt like he dialed it up pretty good. And, like I said, if y'all have any questions, drop them below. And, be sure to tune in for the next one. And see y'all later.
Deuce!